Okay, guys, excuse me. Before we get started, my sinuses are messed up. No, I don't have coronavirus, just sinuses. So, but this is a 28, oh my gosh, excuse me, 20-ounce stainless steel tumbler, and we're going to do a temporary tattoo on it. I'm just not really sure which one just yet, but we'll go ahead and do the steps until I figure out which one I want to use. And before we get started, if there's any music or anything in the background, I'm sorry, it's just a TV that's on. And I don't own any rights to any music or anything, so YouTube can't do nothing or anybody else. So, yes, let's get started. The first thing I do is I take sandpaper, and what I'm going to do is sand the cup down. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is 600 sandpaper. I don't know, I got it off Amazon. It's like the last piece I have, so I have to go get some more. All you do is just give it a good rough sanding, because what it does, it gets all of the, hopefully you see all that black stuff off, and like fingerprints, and gives like, if you do, oh, that's the wrong side. If you spray paint, it gives the spray paint something to cling to really good. But I didn't spray paint my first cup that you saw, so I'm not going to spray paint this one either. I'm just going to show you how I do everything. Don't forget the bottom. Never forget about the booty. And I got this cup off Amazon. I got the temporary tattoos off Amazon. I got the sandpaper off Amazon. Just make sure it's really good sanded. Get all that off. Once you have it really good sanded, go ahead, see all that. Go ahead and wash it in warm water, and Dawn dish soap is what I use. I'm pretty sure you can use any kind of soap as long as you wash it really good. And some people let it air dry. I go ahead and dry it off with a paper towel to make sure it's completely dry. I can hurry up and get it done. So I'm gonna go wash it off and let it dry, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, after I washed my cup and let it dry, I took some rubbing alcohol. It's like 70%. It works just as good. And wiped it down really good with a paper towel. Make sure there's no fingerprints and stuff. Lock tight spray adhesive. Make sure it's shaking up really good. I did pre-shake it. And make sure like 5 or 6 inches away and spray the whole thing. Don't forget the bottom. And don't touch this or get on anything, because this shit is really sticky. Okay, once you get this spray with your spray adhesive, I take this glitter I got from Walmart. It's the extra fine glitter. It's in silver. Well, sterling, but it's silver. I just take the lid off. Make sure you have like some paper or something that can catch the glitter, so you can pour it back in your container and use it for something else. So all I do is just take it and just sprinkle it from bottom to top, dump it over onto your paper, and it's all the way around. So, just like that. Okay, what I do is I take my finger, and I hit on the little holding stick, your little turner holder thingy. And for the bottom, whatever glitter you have on the bottom, on your paper, just take it and just swirl it till it covers it. And like I said, just you can tap the rim of the cup or the little holder, whichever one you want to do, and be covered. Now, if you don't have acetone, I would recommend getting acetone because like spray stuff is so sticky. If you let it dry inside your cup, it is so hard to get off. So if you have acetone, when you get done glittering your cup, go ahead and get a paper towel and put some acetone on it and go on the inside and go ahead and clean that out. Because if you don't, it's going to be so hard to get out, and you have to try your best to get all that off or just redo another cup. But this is the acetone I use. It works really good and it is really stout. I got this at Lowe's. Just put some on a paper towel and just go on the inside and just clean all that out. And if you want to, you can let this dry for at least good 20-30 minutes. You can spray your adhesive again and go in with another layer of glitter if you want to. It's totally up to you. I did knock some of the glitter off right there, but once you put the tattoo on, you really can't tell. But what I do is, like, after I do one layer of glitter, I spray it with a clear coat on it, and I wait a good 10-15 minutes, and then I put a coat of epoxy on. So after this dry for 20-30 minutes, spray this, wait 10-15 minutes, or however long you want to wait, as long as it's like within the 10-15 minute range. And then go ahead and put a layer of epoxy. So after this dries, spray that, and I come back and we'll do the epoxy. Okay guys, I am back. Excuse me. I went ahead and I put the crystal clear sealer on it. So it's been sitting here for good 20 minutes, a little over 20 minutes. And it's ready to go. Of course, you're still gonna have like a few pieces of glitter that's gonna be like falling off, which is totally fine. But we're going to have to do epoxy. You can go ahead and put the temporary tattoo on if you want to. That's totally up to you, because it's going to be glitter anyways. So you can do that if you want to. It's totally fine. But I like to go ahead and put a layer of epoxy on. So, because that's what I do with this one. I will put a layer of epoxy, let it fully dry, and then I put the temporary tattoo on. Just made it, just like, it's not heavy at all, because I did like a thin layered stuff. So let's go ahead and do the epoxy. I didn't know my thing was coming down. But I used the Amazing Clear Cast, and it's part A and part B. I went ahead and drew the A's on top and the B's and stuff. So that way I have to look really close. I can just see it right there. It comes with little measuring cups. But first we're going to do part A, then we're going to do part B. Make sure they're equal parts. If you don't, it won't cure right, and it'll be all kinds of messy. Then I take, plastic cup, whatever cup you want to use, popsicle stick. And since B is more liquidy, I'll go ahead and pour B first. Make sure you scratch the bottom and the sides to get all of your epoxy out. If you don't get it all out while you're Because if you don't get it all out and you do another cup and you scrape the bottom, it's going to be all gooey and gunky and ugh. Okay, now put part A in. Some people go ahead and mix it in like these little measuring cups, but I don't like to do that. And make sure you get part A cut really good because it's thicker. So that's my son back there, y'all hearing? He's watching his little cartoons. Okay. Go ahead and get it off the sides. And once you get it all in there, just go ahead and start stirring it. Make sure you scrape the sides really good. And the bottom, make sure you get the bottom really good. And just stir, 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 stir. Probably like a good 5 minutes. Okay, good. I got it stirred up, and there's going to be some bubbles in there. It's fun. Like I said, if you have a heat gun, go ahead and put it on low. Make sure it gets warmed up really good. And don't hold it in there for long because you can scorch your epoxy. So just go in there. And it helps make it a little bit more liquidy so you can get a little bit more around the cup and stuff. Okay, I know some people like just go ahead and pour it on while it's turning. I like to pour it on there and then turn it on and stop it, and then pour it on, stop it. No, just keep going like that to make sure I get all of it. Let's see. But no, I just stick my finger in there, pour some out. Make sure you get the rim of the cup really good. And it's okay if you get inside the cup. You can clean it up with rubbing alcohol, like while it's turning and stuff. I mean, you gotta do like a heavy coat. This is just to make sure the glitter is staying where it is. Okay, go ahead and turn on the turnip and stop. And just do this all the way around the cup. Just make sure it's totally even. There all the way on the cup. I go ahead and turn my turner back on, just let it rotate, and I go back through. And where there's like a lot, I go ahead and take it off. And make sure you don't forget the bottom. Like I said, you don't have to cake it on here because we're going to put another layer on after this dries and we put the temporary tattoo on. So, this is just give it something to stick to really good. Sand so much. I just take my glove and I go ahead the hand I didn't use and go ahead and get some epoxy from the inside because like I still have like some left. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, it's not a thick coat, but it's not like a really, really, really thin coat, but it is thin. A little bit more there. So I'm just gonna, I don't have no molds or nothing to put this in. I'd rather have extra epoxy over than not enough epoxy because I'll be so upset I had to make some more just for a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this glove off. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take both gloves off. And we get a piece of paper towel, just do it in half. I like to, like I said, get the 70% alcohol. Oh, I can't even talk today. I can't breathe, I can't talk. So I do is just get some on there, fold it, and I'll put it on the inside just to clean any extra epoxy that went on the inside. I get it right up. As long as you do this while it's wet and not when it's dry, because once it's dry, you're gonna have to get like a X-Acto knife or something to get all that off, and then it's really difficult. So I just go ahead and do it while it's wet to be so much easier. Okay guys, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna let it spin for 4 to 6 hours, and actually no, I do mine all the way to 6 hours. And then once it hits the 6 hour mark, I always turn my tumbler off and let it sit for another 6 hours. So I know it's fully dry, and once it's fully dry, I'll come back and I'll show you the tattoo, temporary tattoo, and we'll show you how to put it on. So keep on watching. Hey y'all, okay, it's the next day and it's fully dried. Hopefully you can see it. I do better lighting and just like the angle, and I don't have much light to work with right now, but we're gonna work with it. It does need to be sanded with glitter. Sometimes it needs sanded, sometimes it don't, just depends. I'm using this sandpaper. If you can see it. It's at 800. And I'm just gonna sand a little bit where it's like around the edge and just a little bit on the bottom. Just get where it's smooth or close to being smooth. You ain't gotta use the whole thing, just like cut some off. I mean, that little bit should do good. You still have a lot left over. So, take it, I'm just gonna feel. And just get like a little sand. It ain't gonna be 100% smooth. As long as it's smooth enough. As long as it's not feeling like pokey or nothing. And then of course feel the sides. There might be a little bit. Make sure you ain't got to bear down on it. When you're done with that, you just throw that away. Because you can't use it no more after you use it. But since it's sanded, it's ready to go for a temporary tattoo. On this one, hopefully you can see this one. But it's what I'm using. Okay. And I already showed y'all the glitter. You can get that at Walmart. It's extra fine glitter. What I like to do is go ahead and take it out of the package. And there's this little film on it. You see a little film, and do not take that film off until you are ready and you know where you're putting this on the cup. And I'm gonna cut the extra off the top, the white. Just don't cut the image. And y'all, again, I'm sorry my nose is locked up. The sinuses are crazy. You can either do it like this and figure it out, or you can take it and put it face down. As long as you didn't take the little film off, and just kind of figure out where you want to put it. So, let's see. So I don't have like this little bit left, but let's see. Let's go take, because I know I definitely want the image on top, and I definitely want this skull. So what I'm gonna do is figure out, make sure it is just where you want it. But you just kind of like fold it. So it's definitely there. And it's okay if it overlaps a little bit on the bottom. That's totally fine. So, actually, I think I'm just gonna cut that like little bit off this top right here. Just hopefully y'all can see this. So, try to make it a little bit straighter along. Move that out of the way. So, just add right. So what I was trying to do is get a lot of the little watch and the rose. So, I'm gonna call this extra white off. Just don't cut the image. Unless you know where you're cutting at. And find where that bottom's at. Okay. So I'm cutting through the little bit of the bottom, the rose. Just make sure you don't cut the skull. Okay. Now, we can see how this is going to go. Let's see. Like I said, it's okay if it overlaps the bottom. But that'd be the front part. Now we gotta make sure the skull will fit good on this without it overlapping. We might have to trim some more down. Yeah. Have to trim some more. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim the white off of this. Okay, so I went ahead and did this. A lot of people, they do, when they try to figure out where to place this, they'll probably do it this way, or they'll do it this way, I mean, just whatever. But personally, I think it's better to do it with the image down, because when you do it like this, and you try to trim out two different pieces, when they're facing like this, it's going to be not right, because it needs to be facing this way, so that way, because this is the way it's going to go on. When you put the water on it, this is how it's going to go on. So it needs to be this way for both sides. And I probably still need to do some trimming, but that's fine. But this is what we're putting on. I have cold water in like a little container. I just take one piece of paper towel. I just put it in there, and it sucks it up. You probably just do like half that little piece of paper towel, and it still works. But let's see if I can get you. You don't have to wet your cup or nothing. It's just when you get ready, don't take the little film off until you get ready to put it on, which we're ready to put it on. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off. And try to be careful, don't touch the image so much. I know it's going to be hard to do. I mean, you're still going to touch like the edges, just don't touch it all the time. So I'm going to have to stand up to do this. So I did like a little bit. Once I get it placed at the top, I smooth down the middle part. And then I just smooth down the edge. That's a good thing about epoxy in your cup before you do this, because it helps stick the image on there. So just take your wet napkin. It's okay if it's going to be soaking wet, because what you need. And just go in there and just gently rub it. Make sure you get every piece of this wet. I'm barely even rubbing it. I'm not rubbing it hard. I just have this on a cup on a dish rag. Don't forget the bottom. Like I said, it's okay if it overlaps on the bottom. That's totally fine. Just make sure you get every little piece. Okay, and you just throw your little paper towel back in there for your next time. And I think it's ready. Except for this little piece over here. Alright, it's starting to slip, so that's good. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, yes. That is gorgeous. I show you just a second. Make sure there isn't any air bubbles, just wet your fingers and gently just push the air bubbles out. It's okay if there's like a little bit of wrinkles, that's totally fine, as long as there's no air bubbles. Because if you epoxy with air bubbles, you're going to be able to see it, and then if it pops, it's going to have fish eyeballs. And make sure, since this is still wet, make sure it doesn't touch your towel or wherever you have it under you, because you don't want it to stick to it. Okay, what I like to do is get a dry paper towel, and I'm going to go over and barely tap it, just to get all the extra water. Just like gently tap it. And I'm not rubbing this, I'm rubbing this side that has nothing on it to make sure there's no water on it. Okay. Ugh. See if I can get y'all where y'all can see this. That's not enough light. So, here's half. And then that half's, you know. Okay, so got that on. I'm trying to try and piece it together, but like in different ways. Trying it all to fit. So, but these are just like what you would do if you just put them on your arm. Make sure you take the clear thing off. And sometimes it helps if you just stand up and do this. So let's start with this side. Okay. Just on there. Get some water. Go ahead and tap around it. Okay. Yeah, sorry. My little man's up from his little nap, so that's what you hear. I'm sorry. So, make sure there's no bubbles. Okay, y'all, I don't know what went on or whatever, but the second half on the other side for this, it did not work right. So I just took it off. I used acetone, which is, I used this. And it came in the paper towel, and I got everything off. And it is sticky, but it wasn't as sticky after I put rubbing alcohol on it to make sure I got it clean or whatever. So what I'm going to do is, which I was going to do in the first place, since this side is so gorgeous and so feminine, I'm going to put a girl's name here because this is for somebody. So I'm going to put her name right here. So, yeah. So I'm going to put her name on it, do a layer of epoxy, and I'll show you the final results. Okay guys, here's the final result. I turned the flash on so you can see better. It's so gorgeous. I added a name to it and added the rose. This is what it looks like with the light on. I'm going to show you what it looks like with the light off. It's still gorgeous. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified of my future uploads, and I'll see you next time.